Welcome to the award-winning show, Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. We return for Season 6 to answer the biggest question for career military families. So, when are we going to get out? And everything involved with answering this question. I'm your creator and co-host, Jen Amos, and also with me is Jenny Lynne Stroup. Together, we will converse with special guests from and for our military community to share knowledge, resources, and relevant stories on how we can best hold down the fort while on active duty, going through transition, and into post-military life. Now, let's get into the show. Hello, everybody. Jen Amos here. And don't freak out. I know you were listening to that intro and you're like, where is Jenny Lynne? How come I don't hear her voice? Well, you will come to find in this opening episode for Season 6 today how busy our lives have become individually in our professional lives and our personal lives and all that good stuff. This episode is really our way to kick off the season, as I mentioned. And yeah, we're just going to be sharing a bunch of what's been going on in the off season. I do mention like why it's taken quote unquote so long for us to come back. But great news, now that Season 6 is back, we plan on publishing an episode once a week, sometimes twice a week with bonus episodes. And so I don't want to spoil it all for you. I'm going to go ahead and let you all listen to our conversation here today to welcome you all to Season 6 of Holding Down the Fort. And before I do, let me go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsor for this season, which is basically the same for every season, is the company that I'm so proud to be a part of, US VetWealth. So right now at our company, US VetWealth, we have been working really diligently this year to provide digestible education on how to navigate your military retirement pay and survivor benefit plan alternatives. So our company has written up case studies for the following ranks: E7, E8, E9, O5, and O6. So if you have been planning for transition and you want to make smart, educated, confident financial choices about your military retirement pay and survivor benefit plan, I highly recommend that you check out our free white papers. There is no email opt-in necessary. Just go ahead and visit the US VetWealth website. Check out usvetwealth.com/retirement pay. So once again, that's usvetwealth.com/retirement pay. And you'll have access to all of these white papers, once again, for the following ranks: E7, E8, E9, O5, and O6 on how to navigate your military retirement pay and survivor benefit plan options. It's great to be back. You all are in for a treat this season. We've already collected over a handful of interviews that we will slowly be releasing once a week. And also, you'll be hearing a lot more from our sponsor, US VetWealth, throughout each episode. And that's it. We're really happy to be back, and we hope that you enjoy the season. And with that said, please enjoy this intro episode with myself and our amazing co-host, Jenny Lynne Stroup. Enjoy. All right. Oh my goodness. Where are we, Jenny Lynne? We are back for season... Wait, what season is this?
6?
Is it 6?
Right?
Let me look this up
Season
and confirm
6?
really quick. That's so funny because I think we've been like building up this season for a while now. And
we're in season 895. You guys just didn't know. We've done all this recording and it just is not released in the world yet.
Yeah, where have you guys been? But Jenny Lynne, we are back in 2022 for Season 6 of Holding Down the Fort. I don't even know where to begin. I feel a little bit speechless. I just want to say hi. It's great. And actually, let me start by saying that even though this episode has taken a while, the season has taken a while to come back, Jenny Lynne and I had a very, very busy start to 2022. And so much may not be revealed in upcoming episodes. We're not sure yet. But Jenny Lynne, any opening thoughts for our return here on Holding Down the Fort for season 6?
Well, one, our listeners just heard like our two talents. I'm great at timelines. You're great at taking notes. So together we come here as a whole functioning unit. And two, yeah, like it's great. It's great to be back. I'm excited that we're going to start releasing new episodes. I've enjoyed the ones we've previously recorded, and I'm looking forward to our new interviews upcoming.
Yeah, absolutely. And I figured what we can do first is just, let people know what we've been up to in the off season. And it's interesting because I had a listener reach out and say, hey, like I heard about your new show, The Spouse Benefit Plan. I enjoy it, but I miss Holding Down the Fort. I miss like the stories. I miss the people. Like, I hope you guys come back. And I'm like, oh, it's so great to know that people miss us.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, so I thought I'd share that with you. And so shout out to, our listeners who have expressed that they have missed us. I know that there are so many incredible people in our community amplifying our stories through podcasting as well. Like we aren't the only show that does it. I do think we are the only show that has a Gold Star daughter and a seasoned spouse co-hosting together, though. I think that's what makes us crazy unique. But it's great to know that out of all the shows that some of our listeners, still pretty much look forward to our show. And, I know it's been about like 2 months, really, almost 3 actually at the time of this recording that we haven't been posting, but, rest assured, a lot has been going on behind the scenes. So first and foremost, as I had mentioned, my colleagues and I at US VetWealth have been just super busy creating whole new content and whole new resources for our career military families interested in studying financial services all over our website. So we have like white papers now. We're actually building out a community. And I can't actually tell you all the details just yet because it's not live, but we've been busy. And I've also been busy, focusing on our sister podcast show called The Spouse Benefit Plan, where it really gets into helping military spouses understand the military pension, and in understanding the military pension, giving them the education and confidence they need to know if the survivor benefit plan is good for them and their family. Because usually that question comes up right before they transition. And it's a really hard question to answer when you're thrown a million other things your way to transition. And so just a lot of stuff. I've basically been working, Jenny Lynne. That's what I've been doing. I have been hunkering down. I've been just sitting in this office of mine and getting to work. And that's pretty much what I've been doing off season for the most part, other than dealing with a cat, which is a whole conversation for later.
Oh, the cat.
whole conversation for later. Ask us why we didn't get this cat neutered earlier than we should have, but conversation for later.
Don't, because it's pretty gruesome. You may not actually want to ask that question.
Yeah, it's crazy. But Jenny Lynne, how have you been in the off season?
Oh, I mean, same. Been working my tail off, like between actual paid employment and, being an active duty spouse whose spouse is largely underway these days. Like we've just been busy. We're also doing some more home renovations, which is going about as well as home renovations can go this like post-COVID era of delays and all the fun. So, at the time of this recording, and really, I think this is coming out like next week. So probably still, my kitchen is a concrete floor and walls. I have a brand new oven sitting in my den. All of my den furniture is covered in painter's plastic so that the dust from tearing down walls did not ruin it. And I'm living solely out of a microwave and a toaster oven on a card table in my dining room. So life is very stable. So fun. Everyone is doing really well here. It is not chaotic at all.
Just the day in the life of a military spouse and their family.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. And I just want to take this moment to, I guess, commend both of us, for showing up anyway, despite a number of factors in our lives. And so, yeah, I feel like in a way I had to explain myself because it's been a while. And I know that listeners are like, hey, where have you been? So there's your answer. There's more to it as well. Other things, I've been focusing on my health for the last couple of months since we've been settled back here in Norfolk and just putting me first. So that's been a ton of fun to do. Learning how to work out again, take care of my body, learning how to eat well, and actually teach myself how to cook. So that's been kind of fun. And all the while, just trying to find like that transition from, okay, now that things are really open again, like how do I start to incorporate an in-person social life without like, like neglecting my online life that I have been able to build, so thoroughly during quarantine. And so I think that's where I'm at right now, is trying to make that transition.
Mm-hmm.
And, ironically, you and I, even though we're in the same neighborhood, essentially, we're still recording like online.
But we have recorded quite a bit in person. Just today, I'm actually on, vacation from my paid job. And so I had a bunch of like personal things to do this morning. So hopped on from my own house. Now they've stopped construction for the day.
Yay.
But it is super fun having you back and being able to like be in person for recordings and do it from the podcast studio at your workplace, which is really fun. With the hope that one day the folks from Hampton Roads will join us too in there.
Yes, which is what I definitely hope to do, and have more of that in-person networking and friends and all that good stuff. In other news, another update I want to share with all of you is that Holding Down the Fort was recently featured in the Spring 2022 Military Entrepreneur magazine by the Rosie Network. So thank you to the Rosie Network for featuring us. They gave me the opportunity to like talk about how much the show Holding Down the Fort had improved since we became the Media Professional of the Year back in 2020, which is so wild to think that was like almost 2 years ago now. Mm-hmm. But so much positive changes have come from that time. And it's just really nice that the Rosie Network continues to, keep me in mind and Scott in mind and our company in mind to, I don't know, I guess, be an example, which I don't want to be an example, but thank you. Thank you for like continuing to allow us to have the Rosie Network as a platform to share the work that we do with our company, and as well with our podcast show, and also other spin-off projects such as the Spouse Benefit Plan podcast. So I'm going to provide that article in the show notes in case anyone is interested in reading it. In other news, the last episode that we did, we had encouraged all of you to nominate Jenny Lynne Stroup to become the 2022 Naval Station Norfolk Armed Forces Insurance Military Spouse of the Year. And long and behold, Jenny Lynne is the 2022 Naval Station Norfolk Armed Forces Insurance Military Spouse of the Year. So Jenny Lynne, congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks for all the support and the votes. And it's been a really like surreal and fun experience. I mean, next week when this episode airs, I will actually be in DC with my fellow AFI Military Spouses of the Year from the base level and the branch level. And we'll find out who is the Military Spouse of the Year. And I'm really looking forward to that. I think it'll be a good time to be with my people and, learn and network. And I'm really looking forward to that. And I appreciate all the support in getting there. I think it's a great opportunity.
Yes. Well, we are rooting for you. And it's just cool to have like award-winning stuff on this show. Be an award-winning podcast, and now we have an award-winning spouse on our show. I mean, it can't get better than that. I mean, it could always get better. Actually.
One of the other updates we had that I thought about while you were talking about all the work stuff you've done. I mean, we've spent a lot of time together doing other things too. We did the NOAA podcast with Olivia Nunn, right. And we also did some work with one of my favorite organizations out in San Diego, the San Diego Military Family Collaborative. We did a presentation for them on podcasting. And, so while we haven't been on air as the Holding Down the Fort duo, we have had a good time working together and doing things with other folks.
Yes. Thank you for reminding me, by the way, because that was not in my notes. So thank you. For all the times you don't take notes, thank you for remembering that for us.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So we've been busy, and I think that's a good thing, and as much as we want to have like, at least for me, and actually we can talk about what to expect for our show now here moving forward. During quarantine, it was very much like easy in a way to interview so many people and to be able to publish like 2-3 episodes at a time, for weeks on end. And now that like, I wouldn't say we're in a new normal or things are back to normal. It's like, I'm going to say instead that now that things have shifted and there's more opportunity to, do things in person again, I have to be mindful of my own bandwidth and also as you as well, Jenny Lynne, in regards to our time and where we put our time into. And so, moving forward for this next season, instead of doing 2 to 3 episodes a week, we're planning on doing once a week with an occasional bonus episode if it calls for it. But I'm actually really happy about this, Jenny Lynne. I never want to, work on a project that starts to feel like I have to put in more than I can give. And so I'm really grateful to kind of reel it back a little bit and kind of slow down our cadence with this and just focus more on like consistency and longevity rather than seeing how many episodes can we pump out at once, So I want to thank you for being open to that and also just kind of your ability to adapt with me, as we kind of venture into this more slow pace approach to our show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let's be honest, like you mentioned bandwidth. I mean, as things have opened up again, I mean, I've traveled a ton for work like lately. I mean, gosh, out of the past 6 weeks, I've been gone every other week, I think, for some sort of work travel. And it does, like, we were in such a rhythm of like, hey, we get together every Tuesday and we do the thing. Like, there are all these, and then on top of the travel, it's like the first time I was around a lot of people, I was like, oh, wow, this is more exhausting than it was pre-pandemic because you were used to that level of interaction. And now it's like, oh, there's more than like 10 people in the room. Like, I'm done for the night at about 7 p.m.
Yeah.
So, and we've taken a different approach with the show. We're now doing pre-interviews. So we get to know our guests before they come on and do their big interview. And that's taken time that we didn't used to take. And so, we've changed and adapted the rollout of the show and the way that we do business. And even though I'm still like chief shower upper here, like we've talked about different, roles and responsibilities. And so, yeah, I mean, this is a living, breathing like thing that we put out in the world that, come with two people's schedules and families and all the things.
Yeah, for sure. And I hope that for our listeners who have missed us, you can appreciate our update and know that, like you said, this is a living, breathing show with two individuals with two different lives and two different schedules. And however, the reason why we make this time is because of our love for the military community and how we want to continue to, serve it and also feel connected, in this community. It's like, it feeds us as well, to be able to feed you all with these stories. It feeds us as well to be able to amplify these stories. So yeah, moving forward, we're planning on publishing once a week and, we'll see how long season 6 goes. My philosophy is always to build things as we go and build them right, not fast, and see what comes of it. Let's see what comes of this season, Jenny Lynne.
Yeah, so far so good. I think we've got some great content and we've had enjoyable conversations, albeit some of them much more in depth than others, but I'm excited to put them out in the world. I've appreciated all the guests we've had and their stories, and I'm excited to share with our listeners.
Yeah, I agree. And I feel like this season, in a way, I feel more like, I don't know if settled in is the word, but maybe just, I think settled in. It's like, I feel comfortable here now. Like, I feel like I can just be real with everyone. Not that I wasn't before. It's more of just like having that experience of doing this for as long as we have. And having our co-host chemistry, it's like, oh, okay. Like, it's just, I'm just showing up, I'm just showing up. And I mean, I know that you're literally just showing up, but like, I'm showing up more comfortably, like to just be able to talk to people very candidly and to really hear their stories on a real level, as heavy as it can get, in which some of these episodes are telling you now, get ready, because we got some heavy conversations coming up for this season.
Yeah. I want to roll back that caution a bit. Like, yes, we talk about some heavy subject matter, but I hope that the way that we wrap up those episodes is in a way that brings like light and hope and inspiration.
Yeah.
Because we're willing to talk about the hard things. So yes, we do talk about hard things. Jen and I have said from day one, we're very big community builders and mental health advocates, and you're going to continue to get that kind of content here. But hopefully we do it in a way that provides some resources and information and hope for our listeners.
Yes, I agree. And I'm glad that you said that, because it's, if we're going to open up a wound, we also got to heal it. We can't just like leave it open, for our listeners and leave it open-ended like that.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited. And I think with both of our personalities and sense of humor combined, Hopefully you all will feel the realness and the love of these upcoming conversations. This is a different season, and I feel like a different person coming into this season in so many ways. Jenny Lynne, I'm sure you feel the same way. I know it's been a couple months. That's partly why it feels different too. But but otherwise, thank you all.
Also, I'm almost 40. We did discuss that offline.
That is correct. Yes, that's right. Yes. At the time that this
as soon as this episode is airing, I will be officially 40. So
Crazy.
We are coming to it with different energy. Mine mostly with more gray hair than I had a year ago. But, there's that. We'll like refer back to the kitchen reno, the underway, the 2 children in baseball, middle school. Yeah.
Good stuff. Well, for our listeners, be sure you reach out to Jenny Lynne and wish her a happy birthday. And also Matthew, because I know that you both are turning the big 4-0 together. So just super exciting. I am 5.5 years away from that, and Scott's already passed that. So we're not really going to have a big year of celebrating anything. Unless we want to. And that's it. That's a weird way to end this. But anyway, let me wrap up in a more positive note. But yeah, super excited to be back. And, Jenny Lynne, I just want to thank you again for continuing to show up the way that you do, all that you are, despite anything that's going on in your current environment and situation and life. And I'm going to give myself a pat on the back as well for continuing to show up because, doing a show like this is a labor of love. But like the reward is very gratifying in regards to hearing from you, what I learned from the community, how I feel about myself in learning about your stories. And we just can't thank you all enough. So we hope that you enjoy season 6 of Holding Down the Fort. And with that said, we will chat with you in the next episode. Tune in next time. Hey, thanks again for joining us here at Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. I'm your creator and co-host, Jen Amos, and of course with me is Jenny Lynne Stroup. We thank you so much for listening to our show. If you got a lot out of our conversation today, be sure to leave us a 5-star written review on Apple Podcasts or Podchaser, or you can leave us a kind LinkedIn recommendation on our LinkedIn profiles. Learn more about Holding Down the Fort by visiting holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. And there you'll also be able to find us on social media and how to contact us directly. We thank you all so much for joining us. Last but not least, thank you so much to our sponsor, US VetWealth, for making this show possible. Be sure to learn more about our sponsor at usvetwealth.com. With that said, we will see you in the next episode. Tune in next time.